and giving it to that person? No. That is why if a person prays salat and not a shirt, not a trouser, not a watch, not a ring, not anything like that, just a string, even if it's a string, a hair, that he has on his body without permission of that person, his salah is not accepted. You understand? So the Imam continues saying to that person, to this imbecile, he said to that person, collected 8 sins, but not a single good deed. And the Imam continued, with such interpretation that you made, and justifications that you made, not only do they mislead themselves, but others as well. So this good deed is not accepted. Is it accepted or not? No. All right. Let's go back to the lessons that we were doing before the time of Arba'in. So first thing first, if we can go to the other slides, to page 4. Just a recap. Page 4. Just a recap of Furu' al-Din. Then we jump to the subject of tonight. Yeah. Can we make this full screen? So Furu' al-Din. Remember we talked about Usul and Furu' al-Din? Usul al-Din is what? The what? Huh?
Roots of Islam.
Ahsant. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Finally someone can answer this question right. Root of the? And it's, in another word, the foundation of Islam. It's very important that we have a root of Islam, the foundation to be strong. That's one. What's Furu' al-Din? The
root, the branches.
Branches of Islam. Yes? That's what it's called, Furu' al-Din. The first one is what? Salah. Salah is the first thing first. Yes? Salah. And then comes what? And then comes? And then? And then? You have it in front of you there? Yes? And then what after that? Next slide, please. What do we have there after that? Jihad. What do we say by jihad? What does jihad mean? Inshallah, after this lesson, I will send the PDF so you can have a look at it. So fighting in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to defend Islam. This is jihad. Did we have any jihad recently that happened in our lifetime? Yes. The jihad that was done with ISIS in Iraq. That was jihad as well. They fought ISIS. A lot of people, young people, they went and they fought ISIS and they freed a lot of cities from the hands of ISIS. After jihad comes what? Amr bil Ma'ruf. What's Amr bil Ma'ruf? Who here can tell me what Amr bil Ma'ruf is? Because it's very important. Yes, Sadiq. Haydar, sorry, Haydar. Yeah, well, mashallah, you can read that. Enjoining good, telling others to do good. The best way of Amr bil Ma'ruf. What's the best way of doing Amr bil Ma'ruf?
Teaching.
Is it teaching, preaching? No, that's the other one. Don't hurry. Let's talk about Amr bil Ma'ruf first. What's the best way, Shabab? The ones in the back. The best way of doing Amr bil Ma'ruf. The best approach. How do I do it? Do I teach it? Do I do TikTok small clips and Instagram reels or maybe Snapchat or yeah, those are different types of ways I can, convey the message. But what are the other ways? The other ways, huh?
Well, I was going to say, don't you have to learn everything first and then you can teach it?
Ahsan, well, that's a condition. You have to know it yourself. Well done. But if now I know it, I know Salah. I want to teach others to pray. In my household, I want to teach others to pray. First thing first, I have to do it myself. Not just to learn it. Learn it is Ahsan, number one. Number two, I do it myself. If I do it myself, the other person, when they see me doing it, that is what? An indication that you also come and join. That's why you see a lot of children, very young children, girls, boys. For example, I was praying before I came over. My 2-year-old was praying right next to me. And of course the ruku' and sujood is all messed up, it's not right. But because he sees me always praying. He says, you know what, I want to join him. The ruku' and sujood looks nice. Let me go with the ruku' and sujood. And he has his own sajjad and everything. So, because he sees the father doing it, because he sees the mother doing it, because he sees the elder brothers and elder sisters doing it, when they see that, this is one type of amr bil ma'roof. Ma'roof is what? Good. That's what amr bil ma'roof is. Yes, Muhammad, you want to say something, Habibi? Or was it? So, amr bil ma'roof, yeah? The other one was what? You said it already. Nahi al munkar. What's nahi al munkar? It's right there. Forbidding others from doing evil. And what's the best way of forbidding others to do evil? To show that you're disgusted by it. You don't like it. You don't want to be in the presence of that person. You don't sit down and you joke around with that person if they're doing haram. Because when a person does haram, they have come out of that circle of friendship, that circle of family member, because they're doing haram against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For example, Abu Lahab. Who's Abu Lahab? Abu Lahab is the uncle of Ahsan. He's the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But when he became the enemy of Rasulullah, because he's the enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that was it. He's no longer the uncle of Rasulullah in the sense that he's my uncle. I should respect him and do whatever he says to me, and that's it. There was a line drawn, and that is what? The line of me, a protector of the religion, a preacher of the religion, a prophet of God, and you, an enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That was Abu Lahab. That friendship, that family membership and all that went out of the window into the rubbish bin. Not even the recycle bin, into the rubbish bin. After Nahi al Munkar, what do we have after that? Tawalli or Tawalli. No, it's written as Tawalla, but it's Tawalli. Tawalli is what? Loving the Ma'sumin and their friends. If I am a friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, friend means what? A person who shows their love. Huh? Ahsan. So I also like that person. I show that I appreciate that person. That's tawalli. Alright? What's tabarri? Tabarri is that I show that I'm not friending of that person. We say that every day. Every day when we recite adhan and iqamah. What do we say? Ashhadu an la ilaha. What does la ilaha illallah mean? There is no God. This is what? This is tabarri. There is no God, I say. There is no Buddha. There is no, false gods. There is no statues. All those false gods are out of the equation. Illallah. The first part of it is what? Tabarri. And the second part is tawalli. So tabarri and then tawalli. I can't say I like Imam al-Hussein, I love Imam al-Hussein, and I love Nastajiru Billah Yazid. I can't say that. Can I say that? Can I say that or not? What's your name? The one in front of me. Yes. What's your name? Hasanan. So can I say that? Can I say I like this person and like that person? No. That's why one of the reasons music is haram is that I can't say I like the musician. For example, I don't know, in my time it was, the one who was always on the top charts was Eminem. Even now he's Eminem, It's better to go and buy Eminem to eat it than to listen to it. Okay? Because he's the enemy of... Why is he the enemy of Allah? You might say, what do you mean he's the enemy of Allah? Because what he's preaching, because what he's saying, because of what he's sending the messages. The message is not with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if I like, for example, I like Mullah Basim. Because Mullah Basim is a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's a servant of Imam al-Hussein. That means I'm in the same boat. I like to be with Mullah Basim. I like to be with, I don't know the other ones, maybe Muhammad Hujayrat or Muhammad Jubara. And we have other ones, Or I like the Sayyid and the Sheikh because they preach Islam views and Islamic teachings. And of course, loving Ahlul Bayt, salamullah alayhim. When I love Ahlul Bayt, I show my appreciation to Ahlul Bayt, salamullah. How do I show my love to someone in their a'yad, in their mawalid, I celebrate. And in their masa'ib, I commemorate. You listening? Yes? So in a'yad, what do? Celebrate what? The thing? What thing? Huh? Christmas? What? Easter? Celebrate the ayat. That means the mawalid and all those. Okay? All right. Now let's go page 14. So this is sensitive topic. So pay attention. What does it say there? Balagh, bulugh, yeah, burghul, huh? Bulugh. What's bulugh? Puberty, hitting. Why do we speak about this? Why is this important? Because when we hit that age, everything is accounted for. All right? Don't think that, well, Sayyid, when I hit that age, I'm going to start learning my religion. When I hit that age, I'm going to start praying. When I hit that age, I'm going to... No, you have to start doing that prior to that time. Start doing it before that. So you're ready to go, you're ready to launch, you're ready to start with your prayer, everything is right. So you don't have any issues when you hit that time. So when it comes to bulugh for male, what age is the bulugh for male? So here we say boys usually become baligh between the ages of 12 to 15, depending on when they see signs of bulugh on their bodies. Girls mature earlier, and are usually considered to be baligh, or baligha, to be baligha, from the age of 9 or 12 years, as per the Islamic calendar. All right? Yeah? So but today we see sometimes a 5-year-old, he has all the signs of bulugh because of the food they consume. Yeah? So what are the signs of bulugh? We're going to go through them. And why is this important to know is that, as I mentioned, I'm ready to go. All right? When a person becomes baligh or baligha, she becomes a mukallaf. Mukallaf means what? Salah becomes wajib, compulsory, whether you like it or not. For you to be called a Muslim, you have to practice salat. You have to. That means you have to pray. Salat al-subh, salat al-dhuhr, asr, maghrib, and isha. Fasting, I have to fast. If I have a reason, I have a good excuse that I'm going to be what? Excused from fasting, that's a different issue. But if I have all the means to fast, I fast. No matter what the problem is, unless it's a health problem. So then, there are other factors that come into place. Mukallaf and must perform all wajib actions such as salah, som, hajj, and so on. A baligha person should therefore become an baligh or baligha person, become an intention to do taqleed of a marja' who she will refer to for the guidance in Islamic law fiqh. Why do we have a marja'? Why? I want one of the boys in the back to tell me about this. Yes, Hussein. Ahsan, that's one of the reasons. Give me another reason that why we go after a marja'. If I have a serious health problem, who do I go to get a professional consultation from? A what? Allah? Well, I can't go to Allah. There's no physical officer I can go to him and talk to him. I go to a what? A physician, a doctor, yes, an expert. I go to a what? A professional. I go to a GP. Now, if the GP can't do it, he sends me to what? To a specialist, ahsan. And I have to take a time to go see that specialist and have this issue, that issue, and they diagnose me, and that comes, out of it. If I have a professional, I have let's say, a physical, let's just keep on that. If I have a physical problem, I have some issues that I go to a doctor. If I make a decision, I say, you know what, I'm not going to go to a doctor. I go to a butcher. I go to, for example, let's say the one here, Al-Za'im, I go there and I say, brother, look, I have some issue with my stomach, my kidney. He goes to me, what? I don't know.
You want what? You want a steak? That's the only thing I can give you. A steak or minced meat or whatever. It's not their profession, is it? Everyone have their own profession. If I have a problem with my car, I go to a mechanic. If I have a problem with my body, I go to a doctor. If I have an IT problem, I go to what? If it's not, if it's a Indians. Well, if it's a window, just throw it out of the window. But if it's a Mac, go to what? Go to the Apple store. All right. But when it comes to Islamic, Hussein, listening? When it comes to Islamic issues, I have a fiqh problem, jurisprudence. There's some questions that I want to ask that have what? Doubts. Who do I go to? Marja' al-Taqleed. I go to an alim. Why do I go to an alim? I go to Marja' al-Taqleed because they have spent 40, 50 years of their life learning and learning and learning. They are more knowledgeable than me and you in that regard. That's why I have to go and do what? Taqleed. Now, when it comes to Taqleed itself, can I choose whoever I like? Well, there are conditions when it comes to Taqleed. Pay attention, girls. One of the conditions is that the Marja' al-Taqleed is alive. Two, the Marja' is male, cannot be female. Are the girls listening or not? Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I can't follow a Marja', I can't follow a scholar who passed away. So for example, today I say, you know what, I want to follow Sayyid al-Khoi, who passed away. No. So I can follow the Marja' who is alive today. For example, Sayyid al-Sistani, whoever I see fit. And I keep following that Marja'. Is that understood? We'll talk about that later on maybe, inshallah. Let's talk about now bulugh. I can hear the girls giggling, so listen. There are various physical signs of bulugh. Now we're going into sensitive things, you know. Some are common to both boys and girls, like the growth of hair under the armpits and below the navel, and that is what? In the private parts, yes? Referred to as the pubic hair. Pubic hair is described as coarse hair. Soft hair is not a sign of bulugh. Other signs are unique to each gender. So genders, different. And we're not talking about the 100 genders that came out just recently. We're talking about male and female. All right? He and she. Not them and wolf and whatever they have today. Yes, just two genders. There's male and how can we say someone is male? They have a beard, he's male, he has thick voice, and he has other things, yeah? We can't say it here. All right? And female is female. They have their own unique way that we can say this is a female. Can a female become a male? No? We can't go and change? No. All right, go to the second part, Hajj Hussein. Bulugh in boys. Now listen, boys. Boys, listen. Bulugh in boys. Bulugh in boys, as a boy starts maturing physically, pay attention to this because this is very important. A lot of kids coming into that part of their lives, they're confused. They don't know what's what. They don't know there is obligations, there are wajib actions on them. So this is where you learn these kind of things. So don't giggle, don't think this is funny. This is a very important part of Islamic studies. So pay attention. As a boy starts maturing physically, he experienced what? The growth of hair under the armpits. Maybe a mustache, a beard. He is considered baligh when any one of these three signs appear in him. Maybe all three of them come, maybe one of them, and then the other one. And of course, there is also the change of voice. He starts to have a thicker voice. Yes? So for boys, the body begins to produce and discharge semen. When this happens, the person in the state of janaba, he comes in the state of janaba, and must perform ghusl janaba to become tahir. What's ghusl janaba? We have different ghusl. We're going to talk about that inshallah later. We have different aghsal. We have ghusl mustahab. For example, yesterday was what? You thinking about it? Because you have public holiday. They have public holiday maybe now, or the school holiday, so you don't know. It's Jum'ah, it was Friday. In Jum'ah we have ghuslul Jum'ah. Is that wajib or mustahab? Mustahab. One of the aghsal, one of the ghusl that is wajib is ghuslul janaba. And it's very important that I understand when I become a mujnib, I have to perform the ghusl of janaba to become tahir. And we come to that in a minute. The second one is what? Growth of pubic hair below the navel. That's the second one. Third, the boy reaches the age of 15 according to the Islamic calendar. And that's not necessarily that he becomes at the age of 15. We said that earlier. Some become earlier than 15 baligh. Maybe 14, maybe 13, maybe 12. You know, everyone is different. Everyone is different. So up to age of 15. Before that, it can happen. After that, it's very rare. Very rare. It is makruh for a man or woman to have very long pubic hair or hair under the armpits. And it has become now a trend. Yeah? It is recommended to shave or at least trim. Well, shave it, don't trim it. Or maybe color it different colors or whatever. You know, this hair on the regular basis. Why it's makruh? Because if a person doesn't do that and lets it grow, this is one of them. One of the negative things that comes to him is shaitan comes to him every night. There's a waswasa. So you have to, and this, of course, hygiene comes number one, but there are very bad signs if you just keep it. And there's a trend right now, well, I don't want to. Well, you don't want to, this is not for you to have just long. This is not a good reason. The other one, go to the other slide. Yes. So what is haram in the state of janaba? This is why we're talking about this. It's haram in the state of janaba. What? The first one, touching the writing of the Quran. So the Quran that you have behind you in the library there, if I'm in the state of janaba, I can't touch the ayat of Quran al-Kareem. If I'm najis, I'm considered as najis. Touching writing of the Quran, the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the names of the prophets, and the 14 ma'soomeen. I can't touch them. I can't touch any of those names, the holy book, Quran al-Kareem. Through the book, it's very, very bad to do so, and it's what haram is. Now, if I sit down and I read Quran on, a screen, even that is not right to do so. Even if I'm reading it on my phone, it's a screen, I'm just sliding up and down, scrolling up and down. I'm not touching the physical Quran al-Kareem, but still I can't do so. That's the first one. The second one, what's the second one? Entering Masjid al-Haram in Mecca. If a person goes to Umrah or Hajj, it's haram. See, what is haram? We're talking about haram. And who here can tell me what's haram? What's the definition of the word haram? Huh? Forbidden. So if I do it, what happens if I do it? You sin. And if I sin, if I don't repent, what happens after that? I get punished. So there is haram, there is halal. What's halal? And we always look at halal on the, food and other products. Halal, what's halal? That I have, ahsan, I can do it. But does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punish me for makruh? No, Allah doesn't punish me for makruh, but it's better not to do it. For example, I'll give you an example of makruh. It's makruh to drink water at night while standing. It's better to sit down. And vice versa during daytime. You understand? That's makruh. So what comes after makruh? Mustahab. What's mustahab? Huh? It's good to do it. It's recommended. So it's like extra activity, extra curriculum that you want to add to it. And that's what mustahab gets you to higher levels in paradise. Bonus points, ahsantum. So for example, I say subhanallah, alhamdulillah. This is the adhkar. I recite Quran al-Kareem on daily basis. All right? Give me another example of mustahab. Learning, coming here and learning about your religion, it's mustahab in one part of it and it's wajib in the other part. طلب العلم واجب على كل مؤمن ومؤمنة, and it's mustahab also for you to be here. So there is two, wajib and mustahab. Allah gives you two bonus into that. Allah gives you more rewards. And of course now we come to wajib. What's wajib? Compulsory. You have to do it. You have to do it. So even if it's only to pass through them, that's what masjid. Masjid al-Haram in Mecca or Masjid al-Nabawi in Medina. Now if I'm Muslim, I go to any other masjid. I go to Masjid Imam al-Mahdi or Masjid Fatima al-Zahra in Ancliffe, or I go to Masjid Imam al-Rida in St. Mary's, or I go to Masjid Imam al-Rida in Wollongong. You're not allowed to do so, to go to a masjid when you're in a state of janaba. And it comes to the third one, staying at a masjid or taking anything in or out of the masjid. However, passing through a masjid without stopping is allowed. I'm just passing through. I'm not going to stay there. I'm not going to sit and listen to a lecture or go there to meet a friend. No, I'm just passing through. All right? Going to the other one, to page 17. Haj Hussein, go to page 17, please. Scroll down to page 17. So this one is what is makruh in state of janaba. We said what is haram, and this is what is makruh in the state of janaba. Reading more than 7 ayat of the Holy Quran. Reciting more than 7 ayat of the Holy Quran, it's makruh. Get up and have a shower. In the old days, it was very hard because what they had to do, they had to go get the water ready. In some villages, even today, in very remote villages in Russia, what they have to do, and it's very cold there, what they have to do is they have to go get the shower ready for them to go and have a shower. But today, you go to any, bathroom and you have the water ready for you to have the shower. How long does it take for the ghusl janaba? Huh? Shabab in the back, how long does it take for ghusl janaba to be performed? 30 seconds? Wow. Maybe with a power wash. Huh? 10 minutes? 10 minutes, not 5 minutes. 10 minutes when you're doing it thoroughly. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And the tartib of ghusl janaba, we're going to talk about that inshallah later on. So first thing first, this is makruh. And we said makruh is better not to do it. Reading more than 7 ayat of the Quran al-Kareem. Go do ghusl, then do that. Recite Quran al-Kareem. Touching the cover. Touching the cover of the Quran al-Kareem. We're not talking about the ayah, we're talking about the cover of the Quran al-Kareem. Pages of the Quran al-Kareem, that means the edges of the Quran al-Kareem, the pages. If you look at any Quran, they have the white edges. When you are in the state of janaba, don't touch even those white edges. You're in a state of janaba, you are najis. Don't touch the Quran. Get up and have a ghusl and then come back to it. And we come back to what janaba is in more detail. Touching the cover, the pages of the Quran Kareem, touching the writing is haram, as we mentioned earlier. Dyeing the beard, applying henna or rubbing oil on the body, it's makruh. Sleeping, eating and drinking. Why sleeping? If a person gets up and they had this wet dream, we call it, yes? They go back to sleep. It's very makruh. It's very bad to do so. You're going to have nightmares after nightmares. Eating and drinking while you are in a state of janaba, that brings to you faqr. What's faqr? Poverty. We have ghina, we have faqr. That brings to you faqr. If a person is in a state of janaba and they sit down and they consume food, they sit down and they eat, this brings faqr. If it doesn't bring faqr, it reduces from the blessing, from the barakah. Okay? What's barakah? Who here can give me the definition of barakah? Blessing. What's a blessing? Give me a definition. Don't just give me the translation of it. What's a blessing? Now I can have a $5 note in my pocket, but that $5 can go a long way because there is barakah in it. And maybe I have $100 note in my pocket and it doesn't do anything for me because there is no barakah. You always have to recite ayat of the Quran. And there are a lot of ad'iyah. For example, this dua, Ya Mufidu, Ya Ghafur, Ya Wadud, Ighnina bihalalika an haramik, wa bita'atika an ma'siyatik, wa bifadlika an man siwak, wa rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin, puts barakah in the food, in the money, in the house, in the family. But if a person has this adah, what's a adah? Habit. It's a routine. He's in state of janaba. He gets up, you know what, now is a good time to go hit the drive-thru. Sit down and eat. That's not the right thing to do because that brings what? Faqr into his life. Be in a state of janaba, have a ghusl, clean up, and then come and consume whatever you like. Go into the last one, and I think we are done with the last one. Yes, the last one. So now when it comes to janaba itself, that is what janaba, the word dream. When a person has that, what's the first thing that person needs to do? Huh? Wake up. Well, yeah, wake up. Well, you're already woken up. What should they do? The ones in the back, you should know this. Ghusl, you just get up and do the ghusl. What happened to the sheet and the stuff you were sleeping on? Huh? Wash them. First thing first, boys, listen to this. This is very important. This is for you boys. First thing first, I should separate the blanket, the sheets that have become najis from the other items in the house that are in the laundry that are for washing. So what I'm wearing, the shirt, the trouser, the underwear, whatever that is, with whatever I was sleeping on, should be separated from anything else when I throw them into the washing machine. And the cycle of the washing machine should be enough to rinse, drain, rinse, drain. If it's 3 times, it's better because it's going to rinse it, all right, drain it, and do it again and again for it to become tahir. Do I need to announce it? No. This is something that you should know and you should do it by yourself. I woke up, this happened, I should take that out from my bedroom, take it to the laundry. What's going on? This is my, private moment. I should know this. This is a very sensitive topic, but it's very important for a person to know these kind of things. I throw it in the washing machine with the clothes that I was wearing because they also became najis. And then after that, I have the what? The ghusl. Ghusl janaba. Then I become what? Tahir. So inshallah you should know these by the end of this lesson. So we talk about what? Bulugh. And for the girls we're going to talk about maybe a bit more of that next week. And of course the ahkam of the ghusl. And we do inshallah kahoot next week as well. So let's do some of the questions and we see where we go from there. The boys, of course, you don't have any questions, mashallah. They're all knowledgeable, they know everything. Everything is top notch. Huh? So I give you a minute to think about questions.